She made national headlines and inspired Hollywood celebrities and music artists to plead her case. Now, the woman convicted of murder as a teenager is free. And right now, she's on a mission.
Now, she doesn't want anyone else to go through what happened to her. News 4 anchor Chris Miller sits down with Cyntoia Brown-Long.
I just can't help but feel an overwhelming, gratitude and just a sense of awe with how everything played out.
Cyntoia Brown, now a 31-year-old free married woman, released from prison August 7th of this year after serving 15 years behind bars for killing a man.
Can you take us back to when you were 16, those fateful moments when that happened?
In that very moment that the actual incident happened, it's like all of these pieces just kind of shattered. And so for years, it was me picking up the pieces, really examining it, really thinking, what happened? Like, how did this all come together?
Cyntoia maintained throughout her sentence that she was the victim, lured as a teenager into a life of sex and human trafficking.
How did all this happen? This little girl to arrive at this point.
There was so much that was going on at the time, so many things that I had been learning from the people that were around me, that led me to be in that situation with this man in the first place, that led me to being vulnerable, to being exploited by him.
Now just 2 months removed from a prison cell, she's on a mission to prevent what happened to her from happening to other girls.
It can absolutely happen to anyone. I think that we really need to be mindful of the different influences that affect children, that affect young people. Our minds are so impressionable when we're young. There's so many things that are glorified now that aren't necessarily conducive to a healthy understanding of relationships, of self-worth, of so many things that parents may try to instill in their kids, but it's being overcome by all these other messages.
She wrote a book, Free Cyntoia. It chronicles her upbringing, the influences that lured her into darkness, and ultimately her path to freedom.
It gives me hope that for the people that are still in these situations, like there's an entire community of people who are just waiting to wrap their arms around them, who are willing to advocate for them as well.
That was News 4's Chris Miller reporting. Cyntoia Brown-Long remains on probation until 2029.
And this is her book, Free Cyntoia. It is available now on Amazon. And just reading a couple of chapters, it's an easy read, but it's not an easy read. It's difficult to think a 16-year-old was living like this and what she,
the subject itself, very deep stuff. But anyway, Chris Miller did a great job on that interview.
Yeah, good job. And you can always go to the interview online to watch the entire interview.